It's time for Quarantine Cabaret Cocktails with Robert Bannon and Lee Lessack.
Hello. That's extremely close up of you.
I love a camera and a good light. Hi, Lee.
How are you?
I'm wondering. Well, I think this is our 46th week.
Which is crazy. That's
Insane.
crazy.
What?
We did take 1 week off for that most unfortunate camping trip of mine. But other than that, it's been really fun.
That was your big COVID experience. I'm loving your purple sweater.
Thank you. I stole it out of the closet. It's not actually mine. But I had to wear something purple.
Well, absolutely. I don't have anything purple.
Purple and cashmere all at the same time.
Well, that's how you know you're living that fancy LA life, Lee.
Well, you know what they say.
I'm living that New Jersey life. I have my coffee and my T-shirt.
Can you say coffee again?
Coffee.
I'm so excited because the one person that was having trouble getting on is back. Yay!
We're all here.
All right, we're all here. It's all good. All good. So before we get to, I can't wait for this episode because I'm slightly obsessed with this show. And the vinyl cast recording is literally so gorgeous. Not only how it sounds, but how it looks. I mean, it's gorgeous. Can I show it? Is it too soon? So we're here celebrating the release of the vinyl double album of the Broadway revival of The Color Purple. But check this out, people.
It's fun.
Because it is literally purple.
It's gorgeous.
Okay.
How gorgeous is that? And not only that, we have an exclusive for everybody watching we'll tell you about. We have a special QCC discount so you can get your own.
Oh, that's right. We do.
I was like, did I say something wrong?
What are you talking about?
What did we do?
Okay, so let's get some other business out of the way. As many of you know, Robert and I have been hosting this little chat fest for 46 weeks. 46 weeks now. And we've had some good fun. And out of this series was born a really, really fun, wonderful project called the Broadway Cast Reunion Series. We've done some cast reunions on this show. And what we discovered in chatting with some of our favorite venues around the country that primarily present Broadway tours was that they were obviously closed and having trouble finding the right connection to keep their audience engaged. And so we launched the Broadway Cast Reunion Series 3 weeks ago. And venues, we had a big goal in mind. We wanted to pay unemployed Broadway artists to sit on their sofa and talk to us. Sort of like when I used to buy friends in high school. But anyway, I'm kidding. But anyway,
and not much has changed.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay.
Right. And we wanted venues who have been closed and not earning any money either, to be able to purchase this and give it as a gift of engagement for their audience, for their subscribers, their mailing list, whatever. So we launched on the 17th of February with Frozen, followed by Hadestown, which was so fun last week. We had Rachel Chavkin, the director, and Aeneas Mitchell, who wrote the book, music, and lyrics, and 4 of the original Broadway stars of that show. That was a really lovely conversation. Yeah. Next week, we have The Lion King with none other than Heather Headley joining us for the show. And 3 of her original Broadway castmates So
plus Brad, the current Simba, Bradley Gibson will be here as well, and Timon, Pumbaa, Zazu, Lionesses. We have the whole entire the Disney family just rolling on in.
So we're very excited about that. And on the 24th of March, we've got the Dear Evan Hansen reunion with Jordan Fisher, and part of the Broadway company, part of the tour company. This is going to continue every other week through July. That's what we've committed to, 12 episodes. So we hope you will join us for that. You what?
It's crazy. I can't believe these people keep saying yes.
I know. If you want to find out more, go to BroadwayCastReunion.com. Single tickets are just $15. So there you go. Anyway, we are so excited about tonight. And I want to share with you just a little sort of montage that was filmed in the recording studio when they went in to record the new cast recording.
Dear God, dear stars, dear trees, dear sky, dear people, dear everything, dear God. To be able to stand in front of those thousands of people and say, I'm beautiful and I'm here. There are too many people in the world that don't get to say that and don't feel it. And I think this story allows me to teach others that it's okay to feel that way and it's okay to accept yourself for everything you are. Like a honeybee, like a waterfall, all a part of me, like the color purple. Where do it come from? Open up your eyes. Look what God has done.
It is amazing to be able to make my Broadway debut with a show like Color Purple. Oh my God, it's been amazing. It was spiritual almost, but it's been a beautiful experience.
Push the button, push the button, you gotta push it if you wanna come here. Push the button, give me something to let your baby know it ain't.
I play Sophia, and she is a force. She is dynamite.
All my life I've had to fight. I had to fight my daddy. I had to fight my brothers, my cousins, my uncles too. Let me take you away. Come on, go away. Don't you wanna go away? You got to leave, sister. You got to say, you need to say, you better say, you ought to say.
My very first cast album I've ever done, ever. Like a dream come true, really. It's kind of cool. I don't think us feel old at all. I think this is the youngest us ever felt. Super pleased to be able to make a debut with this show and these people.
Oh, my goodness. Hello, everybody.
Oh my. Wow.
Oh, hi. Hey.
I cannot imagine the joy of telling that story and doing that show 8 times a week. I mean, what a blessing and what a gift.
Truly.
Me and Lee both saw it, and I saw the original, and then to see this revival and see this stripped down, gorgeous emotional journey that you guys told 8 shows a week was really. I told the story before in our little pre-show. I went with a friend of mine who was not a musical theater person, and by the end of I'm here, he like leapt out of the seat. Like the journey that you take people on is glorious. So congratulations. I'm so happy people can hear it now on vinyl.
Absolutely.
One of the joys of the show was like watching the transformation of audiences. Hold on.
Everybody on cue.
Where's my copy, Broadway Records? No.
You gotta buy this.
I know. I'll buy it. I'm buying it.
One of the joys of the show was being on the stage and from like the top of the show, seeing that till the end of the show, seeing the transformation of audience members. And a story that everybody knows this one. Is like you could see like a wife that brought their husband to the show and he didn't want to be at a show. He'd been working all day and he's sitting down, like this, the top of the show. By the middle of the show, the arm would come down. And then 3/4 of the way through the show, he's sitting forward. And by the end, he's sobbing and up on his feet. And I don't know what it was that was in his life that he saw in the show, but he himself was transformed and feeling it like everybody else. That was such a joy to see every night, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah,
I've never had an experience where I've seen a production and then seen a revival of the production that was so completely transformed. It was like a different show. I actually saw the national tour in St. Louis. I just happened to be in St. Louis, and a friend of mine was doing the tour, and when I sat and watched your production, the music was completely brand new to me. It was a different score. It was a different story in a way. And I know the story, obviously. We all know the story, but oh my gosh, it was, I walked out of that theater, and I've said this 100 times to anybody that will listen. It was the most stunning storytelling that I've ever experienced in a theater.
Thank you.
Grasan was actually in both productions, so he probably touched on what was starkly different from the productions, but were also the same.
Yeah, I mean, like, we all know that the first production was a production. It was, we had a turntable, we had a cast of like 30. We had kids in the show even. It was just a massive full Broadway production. And I think we needed that version to get to the version that we got to for the revival. It's like the African proverb, the Sankofa, you have to know where you came from to know where you're going. Mm-hmm. And for us to get to this stripped down version, we needed that fanfare. But I have to attest a lot of the vision of this revival to John Doyle. When you have a strong creative person at the helm of a project, it really helps navigate the vision and allow it to come to life. And he was a true visionary of this story and really wanted to get to the root of this story. And I think that was I'm not downplaying the original version, but I think what was different compared to the revival is that we really focused on the story, focused on Celie and everyone around her. So, it allowed us to tell our authentic story and being ourselves and being an audience member on stage, which was something new for me too, to truly witness the story that I'm a part of. So it only influenced my own storytelling. So,
Gracie, I want to piggyback on that. What was interesting about John is he said if he had different people or another different cast, the show would have been different. He tailor-made it to each of us and how we tell a story. And he gave us the tools to tap into what did the story mean to us individually at certain points? What was our relationship to different characters at different points? He would check in with us like every hour and a half of rehearsal and say, sit down. So, Gracie, what are you thinking? Carla, what are you thinking? I used to be in the corner praying that he didn't call on me. But
everybody like, please don't call him. Let me just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, that's when he could see. Rema, and then you had to just really think about it. So it always kept you thinking about. It always kept you focused and on that storytelling. It was a great technique to learn.
Yeah. He kept us very invested, you had to be present. Even though one time I fell asleep in rehearsal and they won't let me go. They won't let that go.
How do you do that?
Like,
she was sitting up straight in the chair.
There were no windows in the rehearsal studio. And so it was evening time and I got weary by the eye and
mother, take your rest.
I had to take it for just a second. I thought no one knew. I grew up in church, so you know how to keep your back straight and and take your rest. And I thought, he said, "Were you sleeping?" And I was like, "No, that was a long blink. What you thought was a long." So
I just wanted to add another small tidbit. The way that John Doyle directed, well, at least the way he directed us, if you weren't in the scene, you weren't able to sit in the room. So we would come into the room with the next scene, with the previous, the scene before us to connect the next scene, and people would just start bawling because we had the scene what people were working on before we had gotten in there. And it got to a point where John was like, you have to stop crying. You cannot keep crying. We cannot continue the rehearsal with people crying, what is going on. But again, he also didn't understand how deep this was to us, the people that were telling this story, the people that were telling our own stories. So I kind of understood where he was coming from, but I mean, it just didn't help. We were crying every day.
Yeah, I remember the first time Isaiah, who played Mr., the first time he saw the fabric for the opening of Akron. Like we had to pause, for a second because he was so taken aback by just something so simple as this was the first time you see this vibrant color in our show because, we were bland, but and I don't know where that took him in his mind and in his heart, and but I just remember him just weeping and just not able to go on in that moment. But we had so many moments like that. I remember the first time we did the finale scene, when with the reunion, and Celie and Nettie are connected again. And that was we were doing it. I think we did that the first day. And John was like, let's start with the end. And I was like, wow, okay, let's do it, And, Cynthia having done it already, I think he talked to her what he wanted her to do. And we did it. And I remember she ran to me. I'm getting choked up. Hold on. And she ran to me and Grasan, who played Adam, and we embraced, and I just could not stop crying. And Grasan, I think this is week 1, and he's like, sis, you okay? And I could not hold it. I mean, my eyes are closed, and he's literally dragging me from spot to spot because I was just weeping. Color Purple just came at such a time in my life, a few months prior to that, my mom had passed away. And so to have this moment of this great reunion for me, this mom being, reunited with her children, and for me, and my faith and all what I believe in, and I just felt like that was the moment, a reminder of what I will experience in the future, with my mom and glory, so having that embrace, I was like, oh God. And they said sis, we're over here. We're over here. Over here. So we had a lot of moments of crying. And I mean, this show will go with me for the rest of my life and these people that I got to do this great show with.
But do you remember the joy the first time you saw Get Ready for the Big Dog?
Okay.
I was the beat and the way that they did that, it was fire for me. I just remember so much joy watching our men, and then all the different characters that you guys were. They were so distinct. You all had your own. You had already developed your own distinct characters, and it was amazing to sit back there and watch all those beautiful men do that. And just
Go ahead and say it. Black men.
Yes, I do. And, you know what I mean? And they all had their look at me. I'm like, oh, and they all had their own thing. It was so delicious. And I just
the men, Dwayne #1 would be giving us
Dwayne
scenes. He said, "Oh, Big Dog is coming, huh? Okay."
And Dwayne was giving me Jodeci. Dwayne was giving me straight up Jodeci.
That's like the International House of Pancakes. This is the first time we've mentioned Jodeci on 45 weeks of this show.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. We've talked a lot on the show about the bad rep that musical theater gets sometimes amongst actors in terms of acting. That people joke about musical theater that the acting is sometimes not at the forefront. And no offense to the score, you guys act your faces off. The exhaustion at the end of a Sunday show that you have must felt, because that roller coaster ride is something that's an undertaking every single night for sure.
Yeah.
And see, that was also one of the great things about it. We didn't have much to hide behind, you know. It was like you were in it, you were the scene, like you were these things, you were these moments, you were these people. So there really was no time to really not be in the moment, although we found a couple of times.
Well, but I want to say, Antoine, you were saying there was nothing, weren't a lot of things for us to be behind. We had nothing to be behind, because when we started rehearsal, John would go, "Okay, pick up a prop, pick up that's okay, it's okay," and then he would slowly take whatever prop that was that you chose to use for yourself away. You didn't have a book to hide behind, nothing. So it was like, you're as Antoine was saying, we were all there. We had to be there.
Yeah. Right. So there were minimal props to begin with, but then he began to take away from the minimal props that we had. So it really, really dwindled down to nothing. And you guys remember how the beginning wasn't necessarily always the beginning that we eventually had. Sitting in those pews, it was like
rows,
just up there, and then it transformed into what we had opening night, and it was just
And then for us, he treated a lot of the musical like a play with music. So the way he staged it more so like a play in a lot of scenes.
Right.
So I know for the church ladies, a lot of times we were just on stage watching. We weren't allowed to leave, and to be that invested at all times was really emotionally, because I could hear John asking all those questions. So where are you right now? Is it night? Is it light? What's your relationship to her? Do you have no relationship today? What mood are you in right now? And how are you feeling about this scene? And it was exhausting.
And just to piggyback what Rema said in regards to it moving and being treated like a play, technically wise, I was the dance captain. We didn't have numbers like a traditional Broadway show would have, 0 through whatever. So like rehearsing, staging, reblocking, it was difficult, but it also forced us to use our spatial awareness and proprioception and connection to everything and everyone around you, because you didn't have a 7 to sit on, or sitting on 0. You really had to kind of use your relational space, which helped us kind of connect and move as a unit. So I think that was also a brilliant thing that he
most
did.
days, I would say too, most days I observed a lot of what everyone was doing, and it was a bit of a masterclass for me in many ways. I love to learn from people. I really do, especially when you're in the ensemble. And this was more like an ensemble cast, of course, but the joy of actually watching people grow and discover things, and seeing the consistency of everyone, and then transforming into the theater. And many people came to the theater, I think, for the traditional theater experience, but they left with the true spiritual experience, which was so awesome. So I would say some days I was tired by the end, but most weeks I wasn't. I was probably more energized by the reaction of people and seeing people come together of all different backgrounds and really enjoying what Black people were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to give Grasan a shout out today because, as he said, he was the dance captain. There were no numbers. every single time that we got a new Suge Avery, there was different choreography for each Suge Avery because it was, each person was different, so it had to be figured out for them. And it was absolutely awesome. And Grasan,
oh, thank you.
Because the show was frozen.
So
like a slushy.
So you guys, Robert and Lee. Oh, I love that. Robert and Lee. The thing about John Doyle,
Robert E.
Oh my goodness.
any spike marks, no numbers, and when you're learning the show, there's no run of show order. You're not allowed. One day, our stage managers put run of show orders up around the rehearsal thing. He went and made them rip them all down. He said, "You will just learn this show. You're going to use your muscle memory, and you're going to." And at the time, we weren't seeing other scenes because we weren't in them. He was like, "Okay, you'll learn them,
right?
But you're not going to look at that piece of paper. You're going to stay focused at this whole time.
Yeah.
No spike marks, no nothing."
The amount of spike marks that would have needed to be had. All those chairs.
Oh, well, that's just it. I remember him getting upset the day that we got confused about chairs.
Oh yeah, I was scared
because the chairs kept changing as to what chair you get and where it goes, and then where you put it on the wall. It was changing because the show was still being blocked. Because, people, you've got to remember which chair you picked up and where it goes. We could. It was the same 5 minutes ago.
God bless his heart. He's no longer with us. But do you remember the one day Lawrence just stopped and was just wandering?
Bless his heart.
I don't know what chair I want, and he just wandered back and forth to figure. He was like, eventually, I'm going to figure out which one.
Wow. So
we all did.
we've done a little homework, and I know that one of our guests is having some technical
difficulty.
Yeah. But collectively, you have been in 40 Broadway shows.
40.
Wow.
40.
So, yeah.
27 of them are Grasan.
And
the other 20 are Kevyn, Dwayne, and Rema.
Okay, yes.
But my question to you would be, this production was somewhat celebrity driven. You opened with Jennifer Hudson, who's huge. I mean, Cynthia, she's done okay. And, but I think when she started, people in the community, there was a buzz about her, but people didn't know who she was. But then, you had Jennifer Holliday, you had Heather Headley. So
we had Danielle Brooks.
Oh, that's right. I love her. But so what was that like? And did they just automatically fit into the Broadway family, or was there adjustment period, or what was that like?
Well, I'll start with what I believe. Jennifer, she's this huge celebrity. Huge
Hudson, right?
Hudson.
Yeah.
Huge A-list celebrity. But she is the most down-to-earth person.
That's Chi-Town. That's why.
The most down-to-earth person you will ever meet. And she was so hungry to learn because this was her first stage play. All she had done was movies and concerts and all that. But she was so eager to learn everything. And I gained huge respect for her on that front.
Yeah, I think that over the years, because I had done a few shows before this one, usually when people come into companies, there's a little bit of an adjustment period and all that. But for this one, I don't know if there was a huge adjustment period. One, because we were a small cast already, and I think, was very family oriented already. Mm-hmm. And it was a welcoming environment for people. Yeah. So I had seen Heather and Aida, and I was like, my jaw was down. And then when she came in the cast, I was like, I'm not going to let her see me. I went to see her like 12 times, you know what I mean? But she was so sweet and so nice. And Jennifer Holliday, the same, was very sweet and very humble when she came. And Jennifer was great as well. We were doing our best to rally around all of them. And Cynthia is just a masterclass, no other way to say it. The one thing I enjoyed about Cynthia was that I would always go on my runs in between rehearsals. And one day she's like, "Can I go on a run with you? I don't know how to do her accent." I was like, "Cool." And she was like, "Well, how far do you run?" I was like, "I run from like 43rd Street up to like 80th and I come back." And we would just have amazing conversations. And after the first 2 or 3 times I heard her, I was like, "Are you ready for what's coming?" I was just like, "You have no," I was like, "You probably have an idea." I was like,
but you have no idea.
I was like, "You are going to like change people's lives in every way possible." I said, "First of all, you're out here running. Do you know how many people you're inspired to work out, first of all? And women to maybe change everything about them physically and things." And then I said, "You're just going to inspire a next generation of young girls, even my daughter included." So it was so great for me to be a part of it, and it's humbling. So anyway, I just want to say that.
And Robert and Lee, all of those women, those 4 women, if you call, they're either answering on the first or second ring, or they're calling you back.
Yeah.
We're all still family. We're all still connected. Each of those 4 women, if I call, it's okay. What? Oh yeah. Okay. Well, call me. It's never or a callback. So we're all still closely connected. It's like a family.
That's so nice. I was at at Heather Headley's first performance. I didn't know that when I got my ticket. It just randomly was her first performance.
I wish.
And she was so amazing.
Yeah.
You know, do you think that when Cynthia did this production in London first, right?
Right.
Do you think that it got the reception and the reaction as it did on Broadway?
I believe that was kind of it was what propelled it to come to Broadway, that it was so widely accepted and appreciated and regarded in this version. And not to forget that this version was done in the round in London. So that adds another element of theatrical experience. So,
and it was, I believe, only like a 99-seat theater. Like it was a very small theater.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say before?
I was going to say, because Lee said he was at Heather's first show, and I was just thinking about, I wish we could have submitted pictures to you so you could have seen how we watched Heather on the show. Someone got a picture of, okay, come on and pull it up, Deacon. Oh, I call it.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. But
were we all behind the curtain like this?
Yeah, we were all like in the wings, like watching her. So I mean, it's just nice to see. We were rooting for every new Shug that came.
Great. And I would imagine that Jennifer Hudson, Jennifer Holliday, Heather,
I found it.
They all gave you slightly different takes on that character, right?
I wouldn't say slightly, I would say huge.
Yeah, I would agree with Antoine. It was a huge, not in a bad way, but just they brought their unique individual selves. And Jennifer Hudson and Heather Headley and Jennifer Holliday are 3 individual powerhouses.
Yeah.
And brought themselves to Shug Avery.
Oh, yeah.
Shug Avery coming to town.
Oh, yes.
Which was awesome.
Let me see this photo.
This was Heather's first show.
I get it.
Listen, Akron, Danielle, Jakina, and I'm on the floor getting me a good.
So like we never left the wings. We were there. We were in it all the time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you really could not go upstairs really until intermission, because everybody was either you were coming on to move a chair, or you were in the scene, or it was everybody. It was truly an ensemble cast.
Or those nights when you knew somebody was a little ill or just really tired, how we would sit in the wings, and I feel like we were just putting all of our energy saying, "You got this. We love you. You can do this." And we would, right, that same little thing. I just remember, if somebody was struggling, we would be there for them too. Might not be all of us, but at individual times, I would see people giving that person love on stage and like propelling their support, energy was surrounding.
I wanted to shout out real quick Jamaris Daughtry, who's watching, and Angela Burchett. They were our swings that came on to join us.
Swings, baby.
Yes, super duper swings. Shout out to them.
I think we can't talk about the cast album on vinyl and this production without talking about Jason Michael Webb. And the music that and the way that whole show is orchestrated, sung, everything about it was beautiful. How was it working with him to create the sound of The Color Purple?
Everything.
Another masterclass.
Yeah.
He's
another down to earth person.
Yeah.
Because he's like a musical genius.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. So working with that mind, and he's so creative, but he's also technically savvy, because he has a classical and gospel training. So it's the juxtaposition of that, plus his knowledge of music theory and orchestral arrangements. It was crazy working with him.
Yeah.
And he was so gracious and kind and encouraging, and he was a great teacher.
Yeah.
I love when we were. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, no, I was going to say, go ahead, Dwayne. No, Dwayne, go.
No, I wanted to say I did the original workshop of this many years before the first one came, and I got to work with Linda Twine.
Yes,
that's a beautiful one.
And I would come to rehearsal early, and we would try to work out harmonies and stuff. So some of the church lady stuff is really cool. We're sitting down doing it with Linda Twine. I never told you that, Rema. But anyway, so hearing Linda Twine play it and really have the gospel feel, and then moving to Jason and him like taking it totally next level was like mind blowing. And then the entire band around him, I think they all made magic every night, and they moved people. It was beautiful.
I want to flash this up on the screen, which tells a little bit about this limited edition vinyl set. The packaging is gorgeous. It's got photos from the production, all the credits. It's a double album, the track list. It's just stunning.
Yes.
So when you get the album, you also have these amazing pictures on the inside.
They are amazing.
It's absolutely.
It's great.
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of my folk went and got the vinyl, and they don't even have a record player. See what I'm saying?
My parents refused to open that. I'm like, we're not gonna open this, right?
If you go to BroadwayRecords.com and use the code PurpleFan, you'll get a discount.
That's
wow!
I love that.
Heather Hill went out and bought a record player.
Yeah, I have a Victrola, like a Victrola that has a radio, a CD, record player, and an 8-track.
No, really?
All on one. Yep.
Wow. Well, we coming over your house to party.
Okay. That's the next thing that we need to do. We need to have like a for real listening party together. And celebrate Allie Willis.
Allie. Beloved Allie. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're gone, like her and Lawrence. It doesn't.
Lawrence, I know.
It doesn't seem like it. Like I feel like they're still here. It's. I can't grasp it sometimes.
Yeah, Lawrence was one of my first mentors in New York City. I saw Lawrence when he did Civil War many years ago with Capathia Jenkins. I saw those two black people on stage, and I was like, "What is happening?" And he was this high, beautiful tenor. And then I got to work with him in a couple of workshops, and then he played my dad one time in a piece called 21 about Roberto Clemente, and we had a great bond. And he lived here in Jersey as well. He actually lived like around the corner from me at one point in Orange, so we'd be in the car all the time driving back and forth. Are you driving in? Yeah, I'm driving in. You got to ride home.
That carpool.
And one time, you guys remember the big snowstorm that happened, and some people came in and some people didn't? I don't know if you guys remember that.
Wrecked all the way to work, and they were like, "Oh no,
I drove
it's 8 feet of snow out there."
Yeah, I drove all the way to the show, me and Lawrence, but we got caught in the snowstorm coming back. It was horrible coming back, but I got him to his house, which was then like in Bloomfield, and then I was trekking like 2 miles an hour to get back to my house. But Lawrence was a gift. He was a gift.
He was.
I remember that day because I was like, I felt like a schoolgirl, like waiting on the news to find out if I had to go to school that day.
I remember that.
I would be remiss not to ask. I know some of you, when this happened, like Antoine was, your MJ was coming to Broadway, and I know that a lot of you guys had work and projects a whole year on hold, and not only this year with COVID, but also socially, the changes in society and all of that has gone on over this past year. How are your thoughts about entertainment and theater in particular, and the social and health pandemic reasons moving forward? And how do you foresee things in the future? Wishes for how Broadway opens, or what changes may come?
I kind of think that.
Well,
go ahead. I was gonna say I kind of think that Broadway it's gonna come back, but the dates I've been hearing have been something like July, August, but to me, I think it's going to be further back than that. Like perhaps a start around September, October, maybe shows going back into rehearsal. And then maybe around Christmas, the opening of Broadway, and January, February of next year. Now that the vaccine is out, which I got my first shot, by the way. The vaccine, it has to be a worldwide thing, because it's not only New York that supports Broadway, it's the world. We need the tourists for that to happen.
The
world needs to feel safe enough to travel and to come to New York and to sit next to people. I personally don't think that Broadway can survive on half houses, on a 3/4 house, just because the nuts of shows are so high. And getting all the protocols in place of everyone working within the theater itself. What is going to be the protocol for them being eligible, being tested, being vaccinated, will they, and then the audience, them coming into the theater, all of that. It will come back. It's just going to take more time. You know, as
all the logistics of it all.
Yeah, all of our dates have been.
Because you have to. I just know from me running a nonprofit organization and a theater, the insurance companies haven't even underwritten an insurance language and for COVID. So there's so many logistical things when you're running a company like that and dealing with live events that have to be worked out. And until they know what's happening, is everyone's inoculation working? Are people getting it? Is it working? Until they can figure all of that out, it may be a while. But I'm so hopeful. Yeah. And I can't wait. And that's why doing things like this are important. The good thing is it's making us all think outside the box and be creative and figure out different ways to bring people to come together and to bring performing arts to people and to satisfy our own souls. I also want to take this time, God, I hope no one steals my idea, but I have this thing called Creative Conversations with my organization on Broadway Performing Arts Training Program. And I really want to call my board, which consists of different producers on Broadway, and talk about diversity and inclusion on the highest level. And how can we change that? The people that can really red light everything. How do we expand that? Because it's, I was once told, it just really doesn't exist that much. Who are our Black general managers? Who are our Black senior producers or BIPOC senior producers? So I want to have a conversation about that and just to see how everyone's feeling. So this is also a great time to do some delicious work.
Oh yeah.
So,
starting businesses.
Yes, tell them, Carla.
Carla, go on and tell them about your business. So
Okay, so guys, since we've been on this, I have taken a lot of time and started my business, That's Nuts. It's a vegan cashew cheese that is explosive and delicious and wonderful. And I have an awesome graphic designer who is pulling all the things together right now. So, I think by summertime, you guys will have one big festive bite, non-dairy.
One big festive bite? That's
packaging right there. A festive bite.
One big festive bite.
Where can people find more information about it?
Well, just give me a second. Like, if you follow me on Instagram at Ms. Ruth MZZRUTH, that's 3 Z's like sleep, RUTH, and then you'll see. I'll lead you there. as soon as it's time. Also, Deacon's coming up with some stuff. If y'all don't know, Deacon is Antoine. So sorry.
The whole community knows me as Deacon because of this woman right here. And I'm so grateful.
I can't even help it.
Like, we could have our own hour about our friendship, relationship, pain, heart, whatever.
Hi,
But,
Sue.
So here in Jersey, I want to tell you guys, my wife has a theater company here called Theater Company, and we have a Broadway buddy program where we get Broadway performers to come over and mentor the kids and things. So we actually did that as a virtual concert last year. It was totally awesome. Antoine's a big part of it, and I would love for all of you eventually to be part of it. So what we're doing now too is we keep developing programs. So we filmed Songs of a New World, which is coming out. We're now doing Shrek.
Nice.
We have about 25 kids. So they come in, if somebody's sick, they don't come, of course, but we give everybody, we take everybody's temperature. Everybody's in a separate room. We get like 8 kids in each pod, and those pods move around together. They don't intermingle. And then as we begin to shoot it, we're going to shoot it, we're going to have some locations outside and things. And then we're going to, present it to the parents virtually, which is awesome. And so far, so good. We've been okay. Also, I did a concert from my living room actually last Friday for a bank in New York City for Black History Month, and it went over okay. I thought it went over okay. It was cool. And actually, I may be performing my Ray Charles show in, I think it's Hackensack.
It's fabulous.
I think they're opening up April 17th. I'll perform about that. But I think they're going to do like half and half. They're going to do a half house and the rest virtual. So
it's around the corner.
People are trying to work it out.
I'll be there, Dwayne.
Yeah,
I'm around the corner.
Yeah, but I think Broadway's going to come back strong. I was doing a workshop of a show called Paradise Square. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's about the 5 points where the Irish community and the Black community come together, and they did some nice videos that have been out. The producer is sending us emails like every month about the theater. They got a theater, but they just don't know when. So I think it's coming back around now.
Well, when you get your show scheduled, email us and let us know so we can promote it on the show.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much.
And can we get Grasan to talk about his little business too, please?
It ain't little. I was just.
I didn't mean little by any.
It is little. It's a small business.
No, it's amazing.
Talk about it, please.
I'll be quick. With my fiance, our friend from Salt Lake City, Brooke, and myself, the 3 of us run a gender-neutral streetwear company called Subject to Change.
Nice.
And the premise of it is that we want everyone to feel comfortable, not just in streetwear, but also stylish. And we want to make it inclusive. So we have extra small all the way up to 3X on most of our designs. We really try to feature marginalized models and not just your typical stick figure, blonde hair, European-centric beauty. So, and it's owned, myself, my fiance, and our friend, a woman owned. So it's called Subject to Change. S2cshop.com is the website. And this is one of our one-offs that I did.
Nice.
Yes, for the color purple.
Nice.
So,
I love it.
Thank y'all.
Where can I find the clothes? Where can I buy clothes?
The website is S2C shop. S2cshop.com is the website.
We're just going to Instagram.
I'm going on it right now.
I'm going to find it right now.
Yes. Or my Instagram, Gray_Sandy. There it is. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's fast on the keys.
Y'all buy them clothes, go buy that album.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Y'all, I did that.
That's right.
Can someone take a screenshot?
Yeah, I can.
Robert,
There we go.
We can't. The one who doesn't have the album.
Oh, wait, where's my screenshot?
Wait, let me see if I can.
Somebody got it.
we
You
got
hear
it.
it.
Fabulous.
Well, you know what?
I love you all so much.
Likewise.
And we love you right back. This has been such a joy. Robert and I have been looking forward to this, not only to celebrate the album, but to celebrate this show and you all in the cast, because it moved us so deeply. And this is just a thrill, and we're so grateful. that you spent some time with us, and please keep in touch with us.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're a part of the family now.
Yeah.
Broadway Records is a part of the family.
Our show is your show. So
is there any way we can crash Heather Headley's set next week and like make her think she got the wrong one?
You know what? I'll hook you all up with some tickets.
Yeah.
We would love that.
Yeah, it's on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Cool. I want to give a shout out to my roommate who made me this wonderful mocktail. It's a mocktail for the Cabaret hour.
Hey.
Oh yeah, why didn't we have our cocktails?
I got my cocktail.
There you go.
This is a mocktail, has blueberries and his name is Jeremy. He's the best.
Awesome.
Robert, you want to help me take everybody out?
Absolutely. Thank you. Your artistry and your work is so inspiring, and your activism and all of your side hustles and everything you guys have going. Congrats to all of you.
Touch.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
Everybody.
Who got that picture? Make sure y'all send it out. Who got the picture?
Oh yes, I want to see it.
Put it in the chat. It.
I don't know. We're fighting. We're fighting. You back. We're so organized, Robert.
It's so hard to get people
we have
off.
to choreograph that better.
Yes.
Before the show.
We also don't have.
I'm going to call Grasan, and he's going to give us numbers so we know.
He's the dance captain for this show. We need help, please.
And then I'm going to ask him to hook me up with some triple XL because that's after a year in my house, I am that size.
I'm rocking the shirt. I have the Jeremy Pope shirt on today. I'm going to buy this. I will wear this when his clothes come in. I'll wear it on the show.
There you go. You know what, Robert? I just got the most delicious little promo. You know, on April 7th for our Broadway cast reunion series, we've got the writers and the director of Jersey Boys. And the conversation is 15 years of Jersey Boys worldwide. And Rick Ellis, one of the writers, sent this. And I just have to share it because it made me laugh.
Hello, Broadway and environs. I'm Rick Ellis, and like you, this pandemic is killing me. So I'm getting together with my pal Marshall Brickman. We wrote this little show, Jersey Boys, and our maestro, Des McAnuff, the man who put it all together. The three of us are getting together on April 7th, 8 p.m. for the Broadway cast reunion series. We're going to talk 15 years of Jersey Boys. We're going to tell you about a lot of amazing people. We're going to tell you some incredible stories, like the time that Marshall Brickman and I had our lives threatened by the mob if we didn't send new pages from La Jolla to Bloomfield that afternoon. Broadway Cast Reunion Series, April 7th, 8 p.m. of the clock. Brickman, McAnuff, me, you. Be there. Family is everything.
I love that. So Jersey. Listen, you don't send the pages, we're going to break your legs by the end of the day.
There you go.
There you go. And how about, can we tell the people watching, like, is it still a secret about everybody's talking about Jamie?
Yes, it is not a secret, but I don't have the artwork here, but it's not a secret. On the 17th of April, we're doing a special Broadway cast reunion matinee because we've got the cast and the creatives, the composer and the director of the London hit Everybody's Talking About Jamie. They're all going to be here on the 17th of April at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. in the UK. That is going to be fun. I was listening to the soundtrack today in the car.
I was still listening to Color Purple reprise about 7,000 times. You know, I really said to Lee before when we got that Jersey Boy video and we were getting ready to do the Color Purple, like, if you would have told me 46 weeks ago, and we say this all the time, but I pinch myself literally, Lee, on a daily basis.
You agree?
That we get to be the lucky enough, me and you get to represent all of you watching, and to give, you know, a home to some artists is a dream come true, truly.
Yeah, we're having some fun. That's for sure. We're having some fun and meeting such incredibly talented forces of nature. I mean, just on our screen today, I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. The talent is like
ridiculous.
My hat is off to them. My hat is off to them. Well, I can't believe it's Thursday already.
I know. And next week's another 2-show week, so we hope to see you on Wednesday with the Broadway cast reunion with the Lion.
That's right. That's right. We've got the Lion King with Heather Headley and
so
Mac
gorgeous.
and Jeff Hoyle and Tom Allen Robbins and Bradley Gibson and Linda Way, who was in the original production of The Lion King and is still, she's a lioness. And she's still with the production. Well, she was until it shut down, but she will be back. And so we're thrilled that she's going to be joining us. That's on Wednesday. And
we have a lot of shows coming up on Thursday. We have a lot of fun shows to tell you about on Thursdays.
Well, next week, we've got Richard Skipper, who is just the most delightful entertainer. And then there's a big gala happening in Bergen. Or in New Jersey. And so anyway, several of the stars are coming on to talk about that. That's that. And then on the 18th, super excited, we are doing a cast reunion of the original Broadway cast of Mamma Mia. We've got Louise Pitre, we've got Karen Mason and Judy Kay, and we've got Tina Madigan, and we've got Joe Mahota, who he was Sky, the young boy lover guy in that show. And now he's like the president of the theater division of CAA and represents Scarlett Johansson. So
wait till he signs me and Lee to exclusive CAA representation.
Right. Anyway, another fun show. Hey, you will not be disappointed. This is so gorgeous. It sounds gorgeous. And I know I keep taking it out because pink, I'm tickled purple.
Thank you, Broadway Records.
Thank you so much. All right, there you go. Have a great night. Stay safe. Wear the mask. The usual. Bye.
Bye.